The present model of family loses its sense and relevance. The guidelines for social and individual behavior more and more contradict each other. First of all, people don't perceive one another's personalities properly and tend to see only fixed, comfortable templates. Let's get more into this on the example of family. No doubt you've heard of those men's dreams that a woman must be a tigress in the bed, a queen in public, and a housewife at home. This is the very essence of template thinking. Apparently, for men, aside from these longed for attributes, there is nothing meaningful in women. Often enough, it boils down to only two responsibilities: household chores and sex upon the first request. Nevertheless, the prettiest half of humanity didn't make it too far from another. Many consider their men merely breadwinners, forgers for resources, walking wallets. You know, a man must provide sort of things. Naturally, with such an approach, spouses are unable to come to an agreement, as naturally it's impossible to negotiate with a dummy. The second point, being utterly self centered, people inevitably fall into their favorite pastime: finger pointing, trying to establish roles in a family: who's right, who is in charge, and so on and so forth. If in the old days challenging external conditions were forcing people to get mobilized and do something constructive, now when life has become way easier, they are free to quarrel and bicker practically all their free time. Then again, without the slightest chance to reach an agreement. That is why there are so many divorces. Married life simply turns into a living hell, which just slowly kills you. Moreover, in most cases, men are the ones who are victimized, as women are more likely to be protected by the letter of the law. The society is also on their side, as a woman is practically considered a synonym of a mother, not to mention all these innate knacks of psychological violence that women by no means hesitate to use. Yeah, a conflict is unavoidable indeed, but here is the third point. The balance of power in a family got changed. As formerly a man was able to use force in a pinch, now it's taken as something dishonorable and considered unacceptable. Physical coercion has become unmanly. All aforementioned factors cause that disbalance when a woman has way more options to influence a situation. Now she's able to disembowel your pocket with no sweat, eat your brain out, and completely destroy your life. And this is not a figure of speech. As a result, marriage becomes quite a dubious project. What is going to be the end of it? Maybe just losing possessions or also impaired physical and mental health? How about deprivation of freedom? So many threats and risks, whereas benefits are absolutely unobvious. Naturally, there are less and less people who would like to tie the knot. Well, everything happens to a reason. In my opinion, the current situation with the Institute of Family will lead eventually to the emergence of a new model of relationship, which will be stripped of the old one's downsides. What can possibly a family of the future be like? From my point of view, it's no doubt a marriage of convenience, but in a way broader sense. It implies choosing a partner according to your intellectual level, a partner that you are on the same wavelength with in terms of cultural interaction. Also, there must be a match in financial capabilities, because any kind of inequality engenders rebalancing of the force in a family. And of course, the most important is commonality of existential views and life goals. Such people will be able to talk to each other constructively and work out solutions regarding disagreements about behavior, priorities, and goals. It will let them wash dirty linen at home without resorting to neighbors, relatives, the court of law, and other public organizations. But in order to achieve this, some adjustments to perceiving a spouse are required. You have to start seeing a personality, a true human being who also has emotions, feelings, traumatic experience, and the rich inner world, who also might be going through something inside. This person is not better nor worse than you. He's just the same. Yeah, but it's actually easier said than done. Also, after discovering a person in your partner, you may realize that this person is not the one you needed. There is nothing that links you together. There is a possibility, though, that you get to understand how cruel and unfair you were treating that person, who, by and large, didn't deserve it at all. By all means, you can live together without mutual goals, and if that's the case, marriage turns into simple being together where each one is able to act at his whim. But then again, if people are left to themselves, they are bound to argue and dispute. Only having mutual aims gives both of you energy and a meaning. It could be anything, even the weirdest thing on the earth, yet it provides a reason to be together. Bear in mind, a union of two people is a resource by itself. This is a strong power which can and must be used.